I'll read all. So I've been banging on in my last few videos that I was running out of figures to paint, and if the postman didn't hurry up soon, I might have to start painting my nails, and nobody wants to see that, except maybe Jim. But luckily stuff has finally arrived, and I've got some stuff to be getting on with. I thought I'd run through some of the things I've got and my thoughts about maybe what I'll be working on next. Let me know if you guys like this format or don't. I don't want this to turn into a hey look what I've got sort of thing, but I do sometimes quite enjoy watching people showing what they've been purchasing and talking about what their next steps are. So yeah, let me know how this is, guys. So start with the infamy since that's almost upon us. I think Rich Clark announced that it's looking like it could be the 29th of June, so we're not far away. I mean, even if it's not, it's probably not much further off that date anyway, so we're getting close, and I'm very excited about that. So to continue my ancient Britons, I picked up another of the Crusader unit deals, so that for people, if you're not aware, you basically get to choose any two of their sort of 8-man packs, and you get the command pack at a discounted rate. So it's only I think it's £2 or £3 that they're saving, but it's great at the minute when I've got nothing and I'm trying to bulk out. So what I've got is I got a pack of the unarmed warriors with swords. So these can either be a unit themselves and classed as warriors, and this is based off the two Fat Lardies videos, so this is what I've taken away from that. So it can be a unit by itself of warriors, or you could mix them in with the spears, or I could use the spear guys as levy. So that's those guys, and then I've got a this is the warriors, armored warriors with swords. So these will be my nobles, my elites, and I've got the command there to add in. So that is that takes me up to potentially 40 guys. That's 4 units, and a lot more, another 20 shields to paint by hand. So we'll see how that goes. And then I picked up 2 of their chariot kits. So the chariots are troop carriers effectively. I think they're 2 chariots to a unit, and I think a unit can carry basically a 10-man unit. So I've picked up 2 of those, and the Crusader ones are quite nice in that the actual chariots are not resin or metal, but they're provided by foreground. So a nice little MDF kit there, and it looks like there's some option on the sort of side panels. As you can see, there's 2 options there, so I quite like that. I quite like looking forward to having a crack at those. So that's my ancient Britons. Plenty of guys to be getting on with there. And then on the Napoleonics, got a big order in there from Eureka. So I've got 3 squadrons of cuirassiers, not voltigeurs as it says on there, but they're on the cuirassiers. I'm not sure which regiment I'm gonna do yet. So there was at Waterloo, there was 2 divisions of heavy cavalry, full cuirassier battalions, And there's a few choices I've got there, 5th, 7th, 1st, 4th, and a few others I could choose from. So I'll have a look at that. I've got, again, it's 3 squadrons I've picked up. That's 18 figures. And so I've, other than the first, which is with 4 squadron big, I could pretty much do any of the ones. So I'll take a look at maybe who fits in best with being on the right hand French side, to fit in with my sort of Dillon's core attack. I think it's 5th and 7th might be the best fit, although they were very small squadrons. There was only regiment, sorry, there's only two squadrons per regiment there, so we'll see. And then we've got, what have we got? Okay, so I picked up another 2 battalions of French. So these are to finish off, basically these are the 2nd battalions for the 105th and the, oh dear, 24th, 28th. I'm having a moment. So I think I mentioned probably on my first French video what to do with great coats. So I'm obviously keen to do some great coats because that would probably speed up the whole process considerably, but I do like having them in their finery. So what I've roughly gone for is that the 1st battalion for each regiment I'll probably do in their full kit, and then the 2nd I'll do a mix. So I've basically got I'll paint up all the grey coats, I'll paint up another battalion, and I'll mix them together and glue those guys down. So in 3rd battalions I might go full grey coats. I don't know. I don't think there's particularly many 3rd battalions at Waterloo, but we'll have a look. So that's those guys. I picked up, so it seems a little difficult to get hold of French generals and ADCs. So they AB do like a few command packs. So on the right here I've got the ADC pack, so you get 6 ADCs. 4 of them are mounted, 2 of them are standing there alongside their horse. And I don't know if you can see, 2 of the horses have their saddles on there, molded on. So there's that, and the other pack there is a general pack. So again, six mounted generals. So I'll use those for both the ADCs and the generals for doing command bases. That's those guys, and then the rest are mostly skirmishers. So again, I've said it before, General Darnay will set every battalion generates a skirmish base, and if there's over 50% of the brigade has light companies, light battalions, then you get an extra base there. So I need to go back really and do some skirmish bases. So I've got some French skirmishers, the French voltigeurs there. I've got what's that? They are British light company with stovepipe Dracos for my 28th, 24th DMA. Can't think of any numbers today. And then we've got just more British in the Belgic Shaiko, and I should have somewhere. Oh yeah, there's some Highlanders. So I've got all the Highlanders that I need for the 3 Highland battalions, and then they're just the command there for the French again. So I've got a mix of great coats and I've got the standard bearers this time rather than the eagle bearers. Obviously 2nd battalions onwards didn't have eagles, so there's that. Yes, so plenty of metal, plenty of lead to be getting on with. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do next. I've got the skirmishers to finish off for my Ancient Britons, and then I might continue with the Britons in terms of just trying to get something usable for infamy when that drops. Hello. I've got no one to play it with. I'll try some solo gaming. And the only other thing that I've picked up, and I don't know if they'll be out there where I can put this on the screen, if I can lift this out of the way, let's have a look, is I picked up this book on the English Civil War. You guys might already all know this book, but it came up when I did a quick search to find out for recommendations on the English Civil War, especially for a newbie like myself who really doesn't know very much about it at all. So the English Civil War, it's by Philip Haythorne-Waite, and it's I haven't read all of it yet, but it's the perfect sort of book for me in terms of taking a novice and getting them into the period. It talks about the armies. There's obviously some back history there. It talks about the armies, the units, how things are set up, and as you can see as I flick through it, there's loads of lovely plates. I think there's about 30 all in all, and it talks about flags and all sorts of stuff. So what I didn't want is something really dry, too heavy. A lot of the books I buy for research purposes, and I'm looking for a specific topic or a specific bit of or an action. But this is a great look at, or introduction, which is what I was after. So if anyone actually has any more recommendations for books like this, especially my medieval friends, if they have anything that might be a good primer, lots of pretty pictures in terms of maybe War of the Roses, 100 Years Wars, I would be grateful for that. And this, I've obviously just shown you that whole box of metal for Napoleonics and Ancients, but English Civil War is looking very tempting. So yeah, that's about it. Like I said, let me know if this was at all interesting or if it was a waste of time and I shouldn't bother. But I will catch you all later. Thank you very much. Bye guys.